An IC agent walks into a federal courthouse and tries to flex authority on a black woman he assumes is beneath him. "Ma'am, step aside, this is official federal business, and I don't have time for your questions." He slaps his badge against the security desk and moves to cut the line entirely. She freezes mid-sentence, her face tightening, fingers gripping her briefcase just a little harder. Agent Marcus Hendricks, 6'2", federal jacket unzipped just enough to show his sidearm, speaks loud enough for everyone in the lobby to hear, chin up, eyes dismissive, moving like the building belongs to him. What he didn't know was that the woman he just disrespected was about to walk into her courtroom. It's 8:47 a.m. on a Tuesday morning at the Richard B. Russell Federal Building in downtown Atlanta. The lobby is packed: attorneys, clerks, paralegals, defendants waiting for hearings. Security lines stretch back toward the revolving doors. Judge Amara Langston stands fourth in line. She's 53, dressed in a charcoal blazer and cream blouse, her natural silver-streaked hair pulled into a low bun. She's early as always. Court doesn't start until 9:30, but she likes to settle into chambers, review her docket, sip her tea in quiet. She's about to place her bag on the conveyor belt when the side door near the metal detectors swings open. Agent Marcus Hendricks strides in like he's walking onto a stage. Federal ICE credentials hang from a lanyard around his neck. His boots echo on the marble. He doesn't wait, doesn't acknowledge the line. He walks straight up to the security desk and drops a file folder on the counter. "Marcus Hendricks, IC. I need access to Judge Calloway's chambers. Now." The security guard, an older black man named Gene, glances up slowly. "Sir, you'll need to sign in and go through. I just told you who I am." Gene doesn't blink. "I understand that, sir. But protocol is protocol." Hendricks leans over the desk. "You really want to slow down a federal investigation because of a clipboard?" That's when Amara speaks up. Her voice is calm, measured. "Excuse me, there's a line." Hendricks doesn't even look at her. He waves a hand behind him like shooing a fly. "Ma'am, step aside. This is official federal business, and I don't have time for your questions." A few heads turn. The lobby goes a shade quieter. Amara's jaw tightens, but she doesn't raise her voice. "I wasn't asking a question. I was making an observation." Now he turns just enough to size her up. His eyes flick from her face to her briefcase to her shoes and back up again. There's no recognition, no respect, just annoyance. "Lady, I don't know if you're here for traffic court or whatever, but I'm a federal agent on assignment. You can wait." She doesn't move. "So can you." The air shifts. Hendricks straightens. His expression hardens. He steps toward her, not close enough to touch, but close enough to loom. "You want to repeat that?" Amara meets his eyes without flinching. "I said you can wait. Just like everyone else." Someone behind her whispers, "Oh Lord." Hendricks smirks. It's not friendly. It's the kind of smile that comes right before humiliation. "You know what? Fine. Let me educate you real quick." He pulls his badge off his chest and holds it 6 inches from her face. "See this? Federal authority. That means I don't stand in line with people who don't understand how the system works. So unless you want to be escorted out for obstruction, I suggest you back up and let the grown-ups handle business." The lobby is silent now. Every eye is on them. Amara doesn't blink, doesn't step back. Her voice stays level, but there's steel underneath. "I understand how the system works just fine, Agent Hendricks." He catches the use of his name. His smirk fades slightly. "Then act like it." He turns back toward Jean, dismissing her entirely. "Now are you going to let me through, or do I need to call your supervisor?" Jean looks past him, looks at Amara. There's something in his expression like he's trying not to smile. "Sir, I'll need you to go through security like everyone else. Federal agent or not." Hendricks' face flushes. "You've got to be kidding me." "No, sir. Do you know what kind of day I can make for you?" "I'm just doing my job, sir." Hendricks slams his hand on the desk. The file folder jumps. "This is ridiculous. I'm walking through that door in 30 seconds whether you like it or not." Amara's voice cuts in again, quiet, but clear. "No, you're not." He spins toward her, and this time, he's done pretending to be polite. Lady, I don't know who you think you are, but you're about 2 seconds away from spending your morning in a holding cell for interfering with a federal officer. She tilts her head slightly. And I don't know who you think you are, Agent Hendricks. But in about 4 minutes, you're going to wish you'd waited in line. His eyes narrow. Is that a threat? No. It's a schedule. For just a second, confusion flickers across his face. But this was only the beginning. Hendricks steps even closer now. Close enough that people start pulling out phones. You've got a mouth on you, he says, voice low and sharp. Let me guess you're one of those people who thinks rules don't apply to them. Thinks they can talk back to a federal officer and walk away. Amara says nothing. He takes her silence as weakness. Yeah, that's what I thought. He looks around the lobby, makes sure everyone's watching. See, this is the problem. People like her. He jerks his thumb toward Amara, think they can walk into a federal building and run their mouth because they saw something on Twitter. No respect. No understanding of authority. Just attitude. Someone shifts uncomfortably near the back of the line. Hendricks keeps going. Let me make this real simple for you, ma'am. You can either step aside, apologize for wasting everyone's time, and go sit down quietly, or I can have you removed. Your choice. Amara's fingers tighten slightly on the handle of her briefcase. Her voice stays quiet. I'll wait. For what? For you to finish embarrassing yourself. A couple people gasp. One man mutters, "Oh no, she didn't." Hendricks' face goes red. His hand moves to his belt, not to his gun, but to his cuffs. That's it. Turn around. Excuse me? You heard me. Turn around. You're being detained for obstruction and disrespect toward a federal officer. Amara doesn't move. On what grounds? On the grounds that I said so. Jean stands up behind the desk now. Sir, I don't think. Stay out of this, Hendricks snaps. He reaches for Amara's arm. She steps back. Do not touch me. Then comply. I've committed no crime. You've been running your mouth since I walked in here. That's enough. He moves toward her again, and that's when a door opens on the far side of the lobby. A man in a dark suit steps through. Mid-40s. Sharp tie. Federal ID clipped to his pocket. His voice booms across the marble floor. Agent Hendricks. Hendricks freezes. The man walks toward them, and his face is not friendly. What exactly is going on here? Hendricks straightens up, suddenly more formal. Sir Deputy Director Calloway, I was just attempting to access your chambers for the Joint Task Force briefing when this woman. This woman what? Hendricks hesitates. Interfered. Calloway's eyes shift to Amara. His expression changes instantly, something between respect and horror. Judge Langston. The lobby goes dead silent. You could hear a pen drop. Hendricks' face drains of color. Calloway steps between them. Your Honor, I apologize. Amara raises a hand gently. It's fine, Director Calloway. Agent Hendricks was just explaining federal authority to me. Her tone is perfectly polite. Perfectly calm. Perfectly devastating. Hendricks looks like he's been hit with a brick. Judge, he repeats, barely a whisper. Calloway turns to him slowly. Did you just try to detain a sitting federal judge? I didn't, she didn't say. She didn't need to say anything, Hendricks. You should have shown basic respect to everyone in this building. Especially her. What he didn't know was who was watching from the second-floor balcony. Upstairs, near the railing overlooking the lobby, 3 people stand watching. One is a court clerk. One is a federal marshal. And one is Assistant U.S. Attorney Nicole Brennan, who happens to be prosecuting a case in Judge Langston's court in less than an hour. She pulls out her phone. Are you seeing this? The marshal mutters. Oh, I'm recording it, Nicole says. Down below, Hendricks is sweating now. Your Honor, I apologize. I didn't realize. Amara's voice is still calm. Still even. You didn't realize I was a judge. But what if I wasn't? Would that have made your behavior acceptable? He opens his mouth. Closes it. No answer comes. Calloway steps in. Agent Hendricks, you're dismissed. Leave the building. Now. Sir, I have a briefing. You had a briefing. It's been moved. Leave. Hendricks' eyes dart around the room at the phones, the faces, the silent judgment in every pair of eyes. He picks up his file folder with shaking hands and walks toward the exit. Every step echoes. No one speaks until the doors close behind him. Then Jean, the security guard, lets out a long breath and mutters, "Lord have mercy." Amara finally exhales. She sets her briefcase down on the conveyor belt. "Thank you, Jean." He grins. "Anytime, Your Honor." Calloway walks her through security personally, apologizing the whole way. "Judge Langston, I am so sorry. That kind of conduct is unacceptable. I'll be filing a formal report immediately." "I appreciate that, Director. If you want to file a complaint, I'll think about it." She doesn't say more. But her mind is already turning. Because what Hendricks didn't know, what no one knew yet, was that Amara Langston had spent 15 years as a civil rights attorney before she ever put on a robe. And she knew exactly what came next. But here's the part that changed everything. By 10:15 a.m., Amara is in her chambers. Her tea sits untouched. She's on the phone. The voice on the other end belongs to Margaret Haynes, Director of Judicial Conduct for the Northern District of Georgia. "Amara, I just heard. Are you all right?" "I'm fine, Marge. But I want to know something." "Anything." "Has Agent Hendricks been flagged before?" There's a pause. "Why do you ask?" "Because that wasn't normal arrogance. That was someone who's used to getting away with it." Another pause. Longer this time. "Amara, this stays between us for now." "Of course." Marge's voice drops. Hendricks has been under internal review for 3 weeks. 2 complaints from defense attorneys claiming witness intimidation. 1 formal grievance from a paralegal accusing him of abuse of authority during a courthouse deposition. Nothing proven yet, but your incident this morning just became Exhibit 4. Amara closes her eyes. Does he know he's being watched? Not officially. But after today? He will. Good. She hangs up and sits back in her chair. Her phone buzzes. A text from Nicole Brennan, the USA. "Your Honor, do you want the video from this morning? I have a clean copy." Amara types back. "Send it to Margaret Haynes and Director Calloway. Copy me." 3 dots appear. Done. He's toast. Amara looks out the window. The city stretches below her. She thinks about every woman who's been spoken to that way and had no recourse. No title. No power. No camera. She thinks about the ones who never got justice. And just when things seemed calm, her clerk knocks on the door. "Your Honor, Agent Hendricks just requested an emergency meeting with you." Amara raises an eyebrow. "Requested?" "Yes, ma'am. Says it's urgent." She almost laughs. "Tell him to submit it in writing through the proper channels." "Yes, Your Honor." The door closes. Amara picks up her tea. It's cold now, but she drinks it anyway. If only he knew what was coming next. By noon, the video is everywhere. Not publicly, not yet. But within the federal courthouse ecosystem, it's gone viral. Clerks, marshals, attorneys, judges. Everyone has seen it. In the courthouse cafeteria, 2 public defenders sit across from each other, phones out. Wait, he tried to arrest her? Swear to God. Watch. They replay the moment Hendricks reaches for Amara's arm. The moment Calloway walks in. The moment everything falls apart. "I've been in front of Judge Langston a dozen times," one of them says. "She is the last person you want to disrespect." He's done. Oh, he's beyond done. Upstairs in the U.S. Attorney's office, things are less amused and more furious. A senior prosecutor named Daniel Worth is on a conference call with 2 supervisors and someone from IC headquarters in Washington. "Explain to me," Worth says slowly, "how one of your agents threatened to detain a federal judge in the middle of a courthouse lobby." The voice from D.C. is tight. "We're reviewing the incident now." Reviewing? There's video. There are 30 witnesses. There's nothing to review, there's only damage control. Agent Hendricks will be placed on administrative leave pending. No, that's not enough. We have active cases that he's touched. Defense attorneys are already circling. If even one of those cases gets tossed because of his conduct, that's on you. Silence on the other end. We'll handle it. You better. Worth hangs up and rubs his temples. His assistant pokes her head in. You okay? No. But I will be once that guy's badge is in a drawer. She nods. Judge Langston's chambers called. She wants a list of every case Hendricks has been involved in for the last 18 months. Worth looks up sharply. She's building something. Looks like it. He almost smiles. Good. But what no one knew yet was that Agent Hendricks wasn't going quietly. That same afternoon, Marcus Hendricks sits in a cramped office in the ICE field office on Marietta Street. Across from him is his union rep, a man named Tony Greer, and his supervisor, Assistant Field Office Director Karen Pitts. Pitts has her arms crossed. Marcus, what were you thinking? I was trying to do my job. By threatening a judge? I didn't know she was a judge. So you thought she was just some random black woman you could bully? Tony interjects. That's not better, Marcus. Hendricks slams his hand on the table. I didn't bully anyone. I asked her to step aside. She escalated. Pitts stares at him. There's video, Marcus. She didn't escalate anything. You did. That video doesn't show the full context. What context? The context where you skipped a security line and then tried to intimidate someone who called you on it. He leans back, jaw tight. This is political. No. This is consequences. Tony cuts in. Karen, what's the agency's position? Administrative leave. Effective immediately. Full investigation. If the findings support removal, we'll move forward. Hendricks goes pale. You're firing me over this? I'm following protocol. You threatened a federal judge, Marcus. On camera. In front of witnesses. You're lucky she hasn't filed a formal complaint yet. Yet. His voice cracks slightly. Pitt stands. Clean out your desk. Turn in your badge and firearm. You'll be contacted when the investigation concludes. This is garbage. This is your own doing. He storms out of the office, slamming the door behind him. Tony stays behind. He's going to lawyer up, he says quietly. Pitts nods. Let him. It won't help. Be honest, what would you have done in Judge Langston's position? 3 days later, Amara sits in a private conference room with Margaret Haynes and 2 attorneys from the Southern Poverty Law Center. One of them, a sharp woman in her 30s named Kira Moss, slides a folder across the table. Your Honor, we've been tracking Agent Hendricks for 8 months. Amara opens the folder. Inside are affidavits, emails, incident reports. Kira continues. He has a pattern. Aggressive behavior toward women of color. Abuse of authority. Intimidation tactics during immigration proceedings. We've got 4 signed complaints. Yours would be the 5th. Why hasn't anything been done? Because none of the complainants had the platform or the power to make it stick. You do. Amara reads through the documents. One is from a Somali woman who says Hendricks screamed at her in front of her children during a home visit. Another is from a Latina attorney who says he threatened to have her disbarred when she objected to his courtroom behavior. She closes the folder. What do you need from me? A formal complaint. On the record. With your name attached. Amara doesn't hesitate. You'll have it by Monday. Marge speaks up. Amara, you know this is going to get ugly. I know. He'll come after you. His lawyer will drag this out. There'll be press. I know. And you're still doing it? Amara looks her in the eye. Marge, how many women do you think have been treated like that by him and had no recourse? No title to protect them? No video to prove it? Marge says nothing. If I don't use my platform now, what's the point of having it? Kira smiles slightly. We'll file jointly. Civil rights violation. Abuse of authority. Pattern of discriminatory conduct. Do it. And just when Hendricks thought the storm was passing, it was about to get worse. 2 weeks later, the story breaks. Not in whispers. Not in internal memos. On the front page of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Federal agent under investigation after confrontation with judge. Body cam footage reveals pattern of misconduct. The article is devastating. It includes stills from the courthouse lobby. Quotes from witnesses. A timeline of complaints. And most damning body cam footage from another incident 6 months earlier where Hendricks berated a black woman during a traffic stop near the federal building. The footage shows him shouting, calling her confrontational, threatening to make her regret questioning him. She was a social worker on her way to court for a child welfare hearing. The video has 1.2 million views by noon. By 3 p.m., CNN picks it up. By evening, Hendricks' face is on every major news network. ICE releases a statement. Agent Marcus Hendricks has been terminated effective immediately. The agency does not tolerate discrimination, abuse of authority, or conduct unbecoming of a federal officer. We are cooperating fully with ongoing investigations. Hendricks tries to do an interview with a right-wing podcast to defend himself. It goes worse than anyone imagined. I was doing my job, he says. And now I'm being crucified because I didn't recognize some judge who thinks she's above the law. The host tries to walk him back. Well, to be fair, she's a federal judge. I don't care if she's the president. Respect goes both ways. The clip goes viral for all the wrong reasons. Legal analysts shred him on Twitter. Former colleagues distance themselves. His lawyer quits. 3 days later, the Department of Justice announces a formal civil rights investigation into his conduct. Amara watches the news from her chambers. Alone. Quiet. Her phone rings. It's Kira. Your Honor, we won. Full termination. Investigation opened. He's done. Good. You okay? Amara pauses. I'm thinking about all the women who weren't in that lobby. The ones who didn't have a title. Or a camera. Or a lawyer. I know. This can't just be about me. It's not. You made sure of that. Amara nods, even though Kira can't see her. Thank you. She hangs up. Outside her window, the city hums. Somewhere out there, a woman is being disrespected. Dismissed. Told she doesn't matter. But today, just today, one man learned that power doesn't mean you're untouchable. And that was enough. A month later, Amara receives a letter. It's handwritten. The return address is from Wisconsin. She opens it carefully. Dear Judge Langston, my name is Maria Santos. I'm one of the women who filed a complaint against Agent Hendricks 2 years ago. Nothing came of it. I was told there wasn't enough evidence. I gave up. When I saw the news, I cried. Not because I was sad, because I finally felt heard. Thank you for not staying silent. Thank you for using your voice. You gave me something I didn't think I'd ever have again, hope. Respectfully, Maria. Amara sets the letter down gently. She closes her eyes and takes a slow breath. Later that afternoon, she's scheduled to speak at a judicial conference. The topic: ethics and accountability in the federal system. She rewrites her speech that morning. When she takes the podium, the room is packed. She begins quietly. A few weeks ago, I was disrespected in a courthouse lobby. I was spoken to as if I didn't belong. As if I didn't matter. And the man who did it had no idea who I was. The room is silent. But here's the truth, it shouldn't have mattered who I was. I shouldn't have needed a title or a robe to be treated with dignity. And neither should anyone else. Heads nod. We wear these robes because we've earned them. But the respect we give and demand shouldn't be conditional. It should be universal. She pauses. I didn't file my complaint because I'm a judge. I filed it because I'm a black woman who's tired of watching people abuse power and get away with it. And because I had the platform to do something about it. Her voice strengthens. If we don't hold the line, if we don't use our voices when we have them, then we're complicit in the silence that protects men like Agent Hendricks. The applause starts slow, then builds. By the time she finishes, it's standing. 3 months later, Marcus Hendricks' case is closed. He's banned from federal service. His law enforcement certification is revoked. 2 civil suits are pending. He's facing financial ruin and public disgrace. Amara never speaks his name again. But she does something else. She partners with the Southern Poverty Law Center to create a legal hotline for people who experience abuse of power by federal agents. It's staffed by volunteer attorneys. It's free. And it's already handling over 100 calls a week. One evening, Amara sits in her chambers after a long day. Her tea is cold again. She doesn't mind. Her clerk pops in. "Your Honor, there's a woman here. Says she saw you on the news. She wants to say thank you." Amara looks up. "Send her in." A young black woman enters, maybe 25. Nervous. Holding her purse with both hands. "Judge Langston, I'm sorry to bother you. She stops. Takes a breath. "I just wanted you to know that what you did mattered. My mama saw it. She said, 'See, baby? They can't silence all of us.'" Amara stands. Walks around the desk. Takes the young woman's hands. "What's your name?" "Shanice." "Shanice, don't ever apologize for taking up space. You belong here. You matter. Don't let anyone tell you different." Shanice's eyes well up. She nods. When she leaves, Amara sits back down. Stares out the window. Her victory wasn't just personal. It was a reminder to every black mother, every daughter, every woman who's ever been spoken to like she didn't belong that dignity doesn't disappear when someone tries to take it from you. It grows. And sometimes, when you stand your ground, you don't just protect yourself. You protect everyone who comes after you. Justice, in the end, isn't just about a courtroom. It's about making sure that the next woman who gets disrespected has a little more armor than the last. And that's a victory no one can take away.